Okay, let's first talk about the control scheme for this shoulder clamp, because if you don't know how to control the position, anytime you start to get into it, people are gonna be able to roll, turn out, all that kind of stuff. So we'll do this from the butterfly guard for now, and then we'll go over some entries from butterfly guard and closed guard mainly. But the first thing that we wanna recognize is when we gain this underhook, anything that allows neutral or external rotation in the arm is gonna negate it. And anything that allows for internal rotation is going to amplify it. So when we get the initial like underhook style control, it's really important that we recognize that, and kind of like with the arm bar, there's three structures involved. There's the forearm, there's the upper arm humerus, and then there's the shoulder. So if, for instance, if I only gain this underhook here, but there's no control at the forearm below the elbow, I'm gonna struggle a little bit, right? Obviously, if I just go here, it's kind of silly, but just know that when we're gaining this underhook here, the side of your arm, your deltoid, generally speaking, has to be pushing the forearm up as we clamp down. You don't have to be clamping directly at the shoulder. You can be clamping, when I say directly at the shoulder, I mean you don't have to be over the collarbone. You can be at the deltoid here, as long as you've got a strong enough clamp here. And now try to turn your arm back inward. It's tricky, right? And then the other thing that we want to do to make sure that that's not a possibility is we want to bring our chin over our partner's shoulder as much as possible, so that if they are able to, let's say I didn't do a good enough job here and now Rory's able to come back in, I can always recover without him being able to now bring your arm like back around, like swing it back in. Yeah, this kind of thing is possible. So there's two things. There's the internal rotation control that we want, and there's the clamp with the hands sort of reinforced by your head, your chin, whatever you can get over the arm, so that if you don't get enough internal rotation, it's harder for your partner to swim his arm back in. So once we understand this, that when we're hooking in, we have to be pushing this out a little bit and trying to create this sort of rotation where we raise the underhooking elbow and drop the, I guess, overhooking elbow, or the arm that goes over towards our partner's hip while we clamp. Now that we've got that, the next thing we need to recognize is the best control is going to come from when the elbow is above the shoulder. So if I'm here, try to start the posture up to fix your alignment, it's doable. It's not comfortable, but you know, it's like Kurt Osiander says, this ain't a comfort sport. People are going to try to twist out. They'll even eat a pop to twist out. So this has to not be contingent on my partner just like being a huge pussy and not being able to put up with a little bit of discomfort. Discomfort is not the issue here. I should have a biomechanical level of control. So when we get to here, the earlier I can get your elbow above your shoulder, the more likely it is that you're not going to be able to posture up. As the elbow's below the shoulder, your partner can start fixing their alignment and they can posture. So from here, two things I'll be doing. One, if I'm in any kind of butterfly guard, I've got this clamp, I'm going to be trying to either step on your hip, or if I can't, I'll be trying to extend. Let's rotate here. I'll be trying to extend this leg away so that I can keep bringing this elbow up. And if I can't put my foot on the hip, I put my shin on the hip. I need to make sure that your hip, your center of gravity stays away while I lower your shoulder by dropping as much as I can to my left side in this case and raising my right side. This is what enables me to have the control, and this is what will enable me to turn this into a sweep. There are basically two attacks that we do when we use this control. The first attack, obviously, is to get somebody on their side, push them away, do the invert or reverse armbar. And then the second main attack is, as we attempt to do this, somebody drives back into us and we take them over. All right, so that's the nature of the control that we're playing with here. Again, make sure that we control at the forearm, at the upper arm, at the humerus, and at the shoulder, creating internal rotation, making sure that we are elevating the elbow above the shoulder, and making sure that we have some sort of block at the hips, and you'll be successful. If you're not going to be successful at your initial attack, you'll be successful because the overcompensation your opponent will have to engage in to negate that attack will enable you to sweep them. So this is really a 1-2 type attack, and then to a certain degree, once you're proficient with it, the guillotine is going to come into play as well. But just understand the control, play with it, figure out what it feels like before you mess around with any of the attacks, because if you don't actually understand this control, people will be constantly escaping it, which is the same as any other technique, so get to work.